Houston, our instruments are showing that we have a incoming message from deep space. Repeat, Houston, we have an incoming message from deep space. Houston, we will begin playing message now. Houston, we're going to try and translate that up here. Hold for translation. Translation complete. We'll begin playing message now.
Hey, it's me, Melissa.
What do you do when the aliens invade? Take a shot of MK Ultra and watch Melissa Jade. Put on your tinfoil hat and tune right in. We got that crime spree, flat earth theories, government conspiracies, a complex Mandela effects, unidentified objects, a mind expanding, fake moon landing, where it all bends understanding. It's me, Melissa. It's me, Melissa. Aliens is on the sun or in Area 51. Time travels, unravels, haunted castles, cops are baffled, potential experimental thoughts that make you transcendental. It's me, Melissa. It's me, Melissa. Crime sprees, flat earth theories, government conspiracies, complex Mandela effects, unidentified objects, a mind expanding, fake moon landing, what it all bends understanding. It's me, Melissa. It's me, Melissa.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys? Carol friggin' Claus, thank you so much. That is so kind of you. Carol Claus sent a super chat, and she said, I so adore and admire and love you even more, my sweet, beautiful friend, Melissa friggin' Jade. Well, thank you so much. It's very kind of you. So let me give you a thank you. Hold on. Thank you, Claus, and thank you so much to A Look in the Mirror for joining. We're so happy to have you part of the channel. So welcome, and thank you. So hi, guys. How are you? I've missed you. I didn't get to come on yesterday, but hello, Michelle. Hello, Christina. Meat Feet, Stephanie, Time Out, Nana Banana, my Bryn, MK, Seahawk Gal, Ron Swartz. Hello, Yankee, Pointer Lover, Grateful Mama, Lisa, Christina, just Larry. Throwback. Look, I got something just for you. Just like, I'm gonna flush you down the drain pipe. It has been forever. Hi, Vicky, Musicity Mom, Pointer Lover. Well, technically, I'm late, but I'm earlier than my pushback time, so that counts for something. I have amazing members, Yankee Kyle. Hi, Artesia. Oh, you're so sweet. You need a stop, drop, and roll. Okay, hold on. I'll give you a stop, drop, and roll. 1 second. Encore. Stop, drop, and roll, Tisha style.
For the interviews, because I don't have any fancy clothes.
You go to my closet, you take whatever you need. Okay, Brennan, you guys got to look sharp. It's the most important day of our lives, okay?
Okay, Dad.
What's your name? What's your age? Where you from? What's your sign? Who you love? What's your style? What you do? What you drive? Stop, drop, and roll. Do that. Do it like a pro. Do that. Stop, drop, and roll. Do that. Do it like a pro. Do that. Hit top, rollie, boy, we know you phony. know you're my type. If I see you on Tinder, then I gotta swipe right. If you're born in October, then you're just like me. Here's a resume, can you fill this out, please? What's your name? What's your age? Where you from? What's your sign? Who you love? What's your style? What you do? What you drive? Stop, drop, and roll. Do that. Do it like a pro. Do that. Stop, drop, and roll. Do that. Do it like a pro. Do that.
So thank you, Just Larry. That's not Letecia. That's Dr. T. That's Dr. T. Hi, Katrina. Oh, thank you so much, Carol Claus, for gifting memberships. You're so sweet. And congratulations to anybody who received them. And thank you to Elena. You guys are far too kind. Thank you and congratulations to our newest members and anybody who received the gifted memberships. You guys are far too kind. And thank you, Just Mimi, for the super chat. You guys are so kind. Thank you. Hey, Cece. Thank you. Thank you, Yankee Kyle. Hi, Tess. So, oh, Jack. Thank you. You guys are really very generous. Thank you so much. Congratulations to anybody who received. Thanks, guys. Thank you. And thank you, Cece. Oh, my goodness. You guys are very, very kind and very generous. Thank you so much. And congratulations to anybody who received the memberships. You guys are awesome. Thank you. So I hope you guys are all doing amazing. We're going to continue on with our Tisha content. We have our kites that we have been doing. And I know, right, Riley? We got members anywhere. Make sure that you're opted in if you can't afford a membership. So when they gift memberships, you can receive a chance at getting one. Hey, Lori. Hey, Marion. So we're going to keep on Tisha style with our kite coverage. And you know they're good. Tisha's busting out these kites more than... oh my goodness. I love you too, Claus. You did chicken shit. So much gifting. Very generous members. Okay. So I remember where I remember where we left off. I remember where we left off. We literally left off with the poop. Remember when Letecia assaulted her gel mate with the doo-doo water? Yeah. Well, we have her kite. Where'd it go? We have her kite with her version. Why did I lose it? Because it's the last one that I'm gonna have to scroll down. Oh my goodness. Anybody? Because I know that the jail calls started when we read this last one. Oh my goodness. It's the biggest load of crap, literally. Lori, thank you so much for a turkey. I never did get that damn turkey leg. We don't have turkey legs here. We don't have turkey legs here. I wish. Yes, the poop flicker. The poop flicker. Yes. I'm so excited for it. The poop flicker. Is everyone ready to eat? Perfect. So, but where'd it go? Where did it go? I couldn't even get through the kite. I was cracking up so hard the last time we were here. Thank you, Jade Wells, for being a member for 4 months. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Doors of Perception. And welcome, Dawn K. And thank you, Poop Flicker. Thank you so much, Doors. And welcome, Dawn K. Welcome to the channel. And thank you, Tess. Okay, but I'm trying to find. All right, what is it? Is it Control F for search? Okay, flick. Yes. Wait, no. And yep, here it is. Okay, here it is. All right. All right. So this is where we had last left off. Thank you, Planner Lover, for being a member for 15 months. Your support is so greatly appreciated, and we love having you here. So thank you. Thank you. So prepare yourselves, guys. Please don't be eating and consuming food while we read this, okay? Thank you, Amelia, for being a member for 2 months. Definitely hit that thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. So are you ready? Are you ready? I'm not going to laugh so hard this time around. I'm going to do my best. Thank you, Pepper, for being a member for 6 months. You're not new. You're not new, but we love you. Thank you. I don't drink, Riley, but I wish I could because I need to get through this kite. But since it's the second time around, I should be better because I know what to anticipate. All right, so here we go. On June 22nd, 2022, Letecia goes up to the kiosk and she's like, listen, I got something to say, all right? So she's like, I'm going to start to type into this kiosk. And she proceeds to type, I would like to appeal my write-up. I notified several individuals that the inmate was taking my commissary, was in possession of drugs, and flicked shit at me because I wouldn't give her food nor help her remove drugs. Thank you, Elaine, for being a member for 2 months. Okay, ready for shits and giggles. Perfect. Tisha, you stink. Thank you for being a member, Alina. And thank you for the super chat meat feeds. MJ, you're cool and all, but Rena's a little bit cooler. I know. I've accepted it. Thanks, Taz, for being a member for 15 months. Started with daily prayers for Quentin. Stayed through the heartbreak of Idaho. Now we're hashtag poop flicker. Everything Letecia style. Hell yeah. You guys cracked me up. Thank you so much. Hey, Law Nerd. This cracks me up, though. So she's like, so this inmate was taking my commissary, was in possession of drugs, and flicked literal shit at me because I wouldn't give her food nor help her remove drugs. Hey, Punksy. I did not want to be roped into the drug ring going on. And Deputy Cavalier tried to move me after the shit was flicked at me by the inmate. But the ward deputy degraded her and said no. The inmate then put the shit in my milk carton because she was vi. She means high. And I did not know. I had no idea the shit was in the milk carton. How is she not disciplined when I was at risk for HEP? I can't control a personality switch when I was exposed to the shit via her. I don't care, understand. End of kite. Yep. No, that's just the way it ended, guys. I don't care, understand. Yeah, I know it doesn't make sense, but this is Tisha. It just doesn't make sense. I love the I was exposed to the shit via her. So, Larry, a kite when you're in jail is basically how inmates can report issues going on, whether it's an issue with another inmate, whether it's an issue with housing, an issue with medical, an issue with a food. A kite is something that they go to like the kiosk, which is like kind of like an iPad tablet. Gotcha. And they have to write an official digital note and it logs it. Hey, Doxy. Blessed be the mods. Yeah, I don't care, understand. Well, and you know what, Janessa, when going through all of the jail files or the jail kites, I get pleasure when I think, oh yeah, this is her life and how miserable she was. But that was jail. And she herself said that jail and prison are a 180 from one another. And so prison is Prisneyland. And she does not believe in any punctuation, crime sleuthing. She doesn't even believe in finishing a damn sentence. It's either a run-on or she doesn't finish it. One or the other. There's no just a complete sentence. But jail is miserable. It's chaos, it's hell, it's disgusting. But apparently prison isn't. And maybe if there's people who are more experienced in the chat, you guys could let me know. But apparently it's two completely different things. And so I wish this was her life now, but apparently it's not. Tisha on her doctor degree. It's so good to see you, Larry. So Kiosk is like, Tisha, I've reviewed the incident report and the hearing board agrees you're guilty. So your appeal is denied. So then here's Tisha. I asked for a Torah because when you click the Torah on the tablet, it takes you to an unavailable site. This is under free materials, but the Torah section does not work on any tablet. So the kiosk is like, all religious literature is donated, and programs is only able to issue one religious book per inmate incarceration. Programs will not replace and or exchange any religious literature if you lose it, destroy it, or later decide you would prefer a different type of religious literature and or start attending a different religious program. Okay, thanks. Root canals aren't that bad. You'll be okay. Root canals aren't that bad. So Tisha's like, can I get my lockdown hygiene and books brought to my ward? Not the food bag or radio, though, because they consider this redacted right now. Thanks. Okay. Oh, well, she is Catholic, eating kosher while Jewish, also on her Muslim prayer rug. So that's, well, I'll tell you exactly what that is. That's Letecia logic. Can't get that anywhere else, yo. Yes, that's what I'm waiting for Allie to go through the trial footage again, because I'm sure you pick up so many things that you didn't the first time around. Oh yeah, and she's Baptist. Yeah, you know what? Yep, Baptist. You're right. You are correct. Thank you. Hey, Q Joe. Update. I got moved last night. So can you bring my food and commissary with my last request of my hygiene and books? Please bring radio too. So all of lockdown property, except whites. Thank you so much. I got my food and hygiene, but I am missing my radio and cards. Can you bring them from lockdown, please and thank you? Radio, headphones, and cards should be in another bag. So again, they're reiterating, it was given to your ward deputy. Oh yeah, law nerd Amber, because they're like, you're drunk and we found the hooch on your bed. And she's like, this is discrimination because I'm Jewish today. Anything to be the most oppressed, and she's not. She's not. Bye, Crime Sleuthin. Oh, I hope it went well, Musisty Mom. To help nerve pain in his arm. Oh, interesting. Is it like the electrodes? So Tisha says, it's almost time, a few days, that I can get my kosher back. There is a list on the tablet that says butterscotch buttons and peanut butter are allowed, but this list is not on the kiosk. It says these aren't allowed. Which one is current? Well, Miss Stauch, if you are indeed Jewish, wouldn't you know truly what is kosher and what isn't kosher? And you wouldn't be going just strictly by the commissary list of, well, what do they deem acceptable and not acceptable? She wants her damn butterscotch buttons. Right? Well, I think she's saying, well, like, what do they deem kosher and not kosher on the commissary list? Hey, Destination. So both butterscotch candies and peanut butter cups, cookies, wafers are all allowed on the commissary list. So she could eat all that good stuff while eating kosher. Tisha, I am trying to figure out why mental health data was scanned in on the tablet. A yellow sheet that was a cover sheet says do not scan or copy, that it was privileged info and it may result in penalties. Can I find out who done this and how to get this issue resolved? Please and thank you. Welcome, Mel S. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Welcome to the channel. Hey, Richie. Thanks for being a member for 9 months. Hey, Thistle. Who done this? Good shit. Thanks, Mel S. Yeah, who done this? So all mail sent to the North Carolina address gets digitally scanned. Once the mail arrives at the facility, if it's not legal mail, it is opened and scanned. Also, I reviewed this piece of mail and nowhere on the envelope does it say not to copy. Thank you. Tisha, the first page says warning, do not scan. Privacy Act 1974. My point is, I know my mail is sent to people, but this should not be. It's protected mental health records from the Department of Defense. I also know someone brings a copy, once again, violating the Privacy Act. Regardless, someone in Durham scanned it illegally, and they are the third-party person. Sounds familiar. I just do not need this distributed to anyone, like the rest of my mail is when the copies are sent to others for monitoring. These are privileged records. Hey, Shay. Come on, Tisha. Just making up her own. If they are privileged records, please have them sent directly to the jail following all mailroom protocol. Oh, is that it? Did you not follow protocol? Is that what the issue is? I see, Tisha. You didn't follow protocol. Tisha, I would like to get my kosher back. I served the 6-month suspension. I also kited programs and verified certain items before ordering, and I saw the kiosk is finally updated with the new approved listed updated June 2022. What do I need to do to reinstate my kosher, please and thank you? I hate her. I hate her so much. Give it back, damn it! I will send you the forms to complete and return to programs. Thank you. I hope she's denied. Does anyone know if she's back on it? I hope she's not. I cannot do these drugs in this ward. And these ChemDep people in and out of my cell. I told the deputy on May 22nd, when we got moved here, I was placed with a ChemDep with drugs. I told several people she has got several write-ups because she is crazy and threw shit at me. I did not touch her. But yet, that inmate got a write-up on the same day when she attacked me and assaulted someone physically and is in redacted already, and she has been in several fights here. No hating. I like her. Just saying. This is frivolous that I didn't touch anyone and I had shit thrown at me and I am still in redacted. The person who did it is in redacted. So this proves I wasn't the person who caused this because she is nuts. I need to be no cellmate in redacted. I can't take the drug addicts nor the possession of drugs around me. It's a security risk for me and the other person, and I can't control my mania. Drugs are a trigger. So which is it, Tisha? Can you not control your mania, or can you not control your disassociation? Because you tend to flip between the two. In half of these, you say that you're bipolar and you can't control when you're manic. Hi, Angie. Hi, ATS. And the other, you say, hey, I'm my altar is about to come out. Maria is about to come forward. And your personalities switch. So which one is it? I love this photo. I don't know why. This photo just is it. I don't know why, because it blends so well. But keep in mind, she requested the cellmate because she did not want to be moved away from the television. So they said, approved. You will be given a cellmate. 3 days later, she comes back and she's like, yo, actually, remember that trial, that free trial for a cellmate? I would like you to take that cellmate back because I don't like her anymore, okay? I don't like this free trial for a cellmate and I don't want her anymore. So if you could take her back, that would be great, okay? Um Oh, thank you, Angie. You're so sweet. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you. Hold on, let me get my thank you. Thank you, Angie. Mwah. And so it's like a Norton's free trial, for a security risk on the computer. You asked for a cellmate because you didn't want your cell to be moved away from your TV because you said it triggers your personality to switch and the TV soothes you. So then they gave you a cellmate. 3 days later, you come back and you're like, yo, actually, you need to take this bitch back. Like it's a fucking hamster or something that you could just return to the store. You can't even return hamsters to the store, actually. But you're like, take this thing back. I don't like it. She's a trigger for me. She's a trigger for me. You're in jail, Tisha. They don't care. What's a trigger? What's not? They don't care. Thank you, Tony. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. Oh, geez. Yeah, and then she also needed human interaction or she would lose her mind. But then okay, sorry. Can one of the mods just grab the link though for me? Thank you. Hi, Jersey. Hey, Robin. Okay. So Tisha goes, hi. On a previous kite on 7/24, someone responded and said butterscotch was approved and it's listed on the kiosk list. However, it's red on my logon. I just want to get this right and know if it's allowed or not because the last email says it is, but it's red now and says restricted. Please let me know and thanks for your help. Tisha, if you were truly kosher, do you really need a list to tell you if it is or isn't? Wouldn't you know? Thanks, Clyde. I hope you're being a member for a month. YouTube needs to do better at notifying. I know, I'm sorry. I love you too, though. Oh, thank you so much, Night Stalker. It's very sweet of you. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are so kind. Thanks, Tony. Okay, MK. Well, thanks for hanging around. Have a great night. I think that's a good. I'm sure some things you'll have to look up, but like if she was really Jewish, don't you think she would know pretty much what was kosher and what wasn't kosher? She's clearly just going solely by, hey, what's going to get me booted off the roster or not, in my opinion. According to the list we have, it is allowed. Hey, Turquoise. So here comes Tisha. So if you don't know what Priya is I don't know what to refer to it as, the program. It's how they report the sexual abuse. I forgot what it stands for. Can you guys in the chat? It's the sexual, like, how do you go about reporting like the sexual things that happen in jail? But I forgot what it stood for. But I know you guys in the chat will let me know. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, LSU Nancy G. That's very, very generous and kind. Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. It's really, really nice of you. I forgot what it stands for though. The PREA. Thank you, Luna, and Caffeinated Slug. So it's the Prison Schmape Elimination Act. Thank you. So they are very, very kind, Thistle. Thank you everyone so much. It's really nice of you. So so when Letecia says she's reporting to PREA, I just want people to have context of what that means. So she says, I am reporting PREA information for this because per the act, I am protected against the obscene languages, remarks about my body, because they know me, and favors for commissary like the jail allowed with redacted because they are on drugs is no excuse. It is sexual harassment. So, Tisha, do you really expect us? Okay. Which way? Yeah, resubmit, Alina. I'm having a major system failure with this one. Are you wanting us to believe, which way is this going? Do you have to perform sexual acts on someone else? No, because you have enough money. You wouldn't need the commissary. Or wait, I'm confused which way this would go. Which way would this go? You have Aunt Brenda gives you enough. She gives you enough. So which way would this go? If people want to perform it on you, yeah, you would give them the commissary for them to do it to you. Ew. I would need more than a butterscotch cookie for that. Thank you, Claus. That's really kind of you. And congratulations to the members who received the gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Claus. Yes, Sarah. So listen, they must be really hungry. But I would lose my appetite after that. Just saying. Okay. I don't know. But for you to act like this is so ludicrous, Letecia, we have seen the incident reports where you are in your manties and underwear and you are with a few other inmates and you guys are passing sexual remarks back and forth to one another. And you are targeting and mocking the transsexual inmate while they're trying to take a shower. So I don't want to hear anything. Exactly, the pelvic thrust. You remember Caffeinated Slug. You remember. So she says, I mentioned this in several kites and I am filing a PREA because I don't have to be subjected to comments and favors in my cell because you guys screwed with my housing on May 22nd when I was perfectly fine. Well, Tisha, this isn't the Marriott. This isn't the Hilton. This isn't about making accommodations for Tisha to make you perfectly fine, perfectly content, perfectly comfortable. This is jail, sweetheart. You will go where they tell you to go. You will be moved when they tell you to be moved. You made a friend with your cellmate and now they took away your friend. Boo hoo, oh well. That's what happens when you murder a child. You don't like it? Don't murder innocent, vulnerable children. It's amazing to me that somebody can complain so much while being in jail. And she has written kites, guys, when dinner isn't served at the time that it's supposed to, and it was 5 minutes late. Where do you think you are? It's supposed to be miserable. It's supposed to be, if you ever get out, you don't want to return. So I have informed your ward deputy, and she'll be coming to speak with you. Okay. So how do I get unredded? There are a couple of things on the approved list that is red. Butterscotch, peanut butter, etc. Can I get it updated, or how do I do that? When I click it, it's red and says non-kosher, but the list says they are. Thank you. So, okay. Again, if you were truly followed this religion, you wouldn't. Oh, good night, Elena. Love you. Mwah. If you truly followed this religion, you wouldn't need, when this list and guidelines updates every other month, to tell you when, like, what foods you can and cannot eat. You would know. Yeah, unredded, because that's a word. It's part of Letecia dictionary. Boop boop. It is so freaking beyond obvious that she just, what is the beyond, just what am I allowed to get away with? Give me everything I can eat while still being able to be on the kosher roster. Oh, thank you, Jamie. Unredded. Okay, I understand. I will reach out to commissary and I will get this resolved ASAP. They are the only ones who can fix this. Please don't, kiosk. Please don't. 817 and 818 have been non-kosher items. On 818, it was a smeat, which we know is not kosher. It's processed meat. Plus, whether you think, Tisha, really? Plus, whether you think so or not, it does contain forms of pork and alternatives to pork that are still not kosher. I am notifying you that I let this go in the past without eating and without filing a prisoner complaint. However, I am filing one with the Denver courts for a First Amendment violation. Honey, weather? Well, the weather outside is frightful. I wish her nothing but green Bologna for life. Hi, Sprinkled Dog Nut. I didn't even know what smeat was until a couple of lives ago, and you guys told me what smeat was. I can't believe she does not know the correct what the difference between weather and weather. You have to kite the kitchen. Wrong department. get 2 copies of the last 6 months of my resident account? And if you could signed, please. You mean sign? It hurts my head. So, Redacted wrote you guys under Redacted's account. Oh, snitch. Snitch. So, Redacted wrote you guys under Redacted's account to manipulate housing when there was no issues. She was tripping that you guys refused to move her to Redacted, so resulted to housing manipulation. She sued Redacted and the jail for housing discrimination. And once again, I'm brought into something for no reason. She played y'all to get moved to Redacted. This is why I need to be no cellmate. Guys, way in advance that it was an attempt at housing manipulation. Is that how you start a sentence? Guys, way in advance that it was an attempt at housing manipulation. I had no issues in Redacted, and people desperate to move wards because they can't follow rules, and you guys listen. You can verify this with Deputy Bird that there was no issues that Redacted moved the first time because of Redacted sending kites to floor security on her. She turned this to get moved because she had been in here 8 months in Redacted and still sued classification 2 weeks ago. This is crazy. You sued them, Tisha. Is this where you got your idea? Tisha, you sued them. Tisha, you can't just, like, the fact that you think you could just, listen, I need to not have a cellmate. I think everyone, I am shocked that she ever requested a cellmate. That is beyond me. You were very lucky you had no cellmate. And then you were an idiot and requested a cellmate because you didn't want to be out of the view from the TV. Your wish was granted, and then you realized immediately that you regretted it. But the fact that you think that they give a shit, you don't think they hear this from all of the inmates? I know, Buster Crimes. That would have been insane to see her go pro se. But she couldn't, even with an insanity defense. I know on your number. Kiosk is like, it is unclear what housing question you have. You do not have a seg with Redacted, and her housing would not affect yours. If you have a question about your housing, please resubmit a new kite with those details, bruh. I saw the kite that Redacted wrote to you from Redacted's account. She is lying and used this to get moved because classification kept denying her. And she filed an inmate lawsuit with the Denver District Court. I did not tell her anything. This was a way to manipulate housing since she sued Redacted and the jail, and they still refused to move her. I have not told her anything about helping me, and this was her last way to get to Redacted. She and Jerry Redacted got into it because Redacted kited you about drug activity and cheeking her meds. This had nothing to do with me. It was a way to get moved, which you guys let happen. Tisha. I know, the kiosk is like, what are you trying to say? Error, error, error. We're not computing. Okay, Shay. See, James Little Shays. Noted. Thank you. Claus, if you don't want to suck on Letecia's big keys, hit the like button. Ew. Exactly, Misty. Yep. Yeah, Blue. They actually put them in their mouth and then it starts to dissolve and then they take them out and they give them to each other. It's gross. It's gross. I know you're like desperate in jail, but that's gross. Can I get my whites out of Propert? I am in redacted again. It's socks, boxers, t-shirts, long sleeves, etc. Thanks. Females wear boxers, I guess? I didn't know that was an option. So they get manties and they get boxers. Tisha wears boxers. I have 3 books to donate. Sugar doesn't show up on the kiosk, but it does on the care pack. Is this the only way to get it? Thanks. Sugar, ba-da-bum-bum-bum-bum. Honey, honey. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum-bum. You are my candy girl. I've only seen them this week in MCPs. We are out of stock on a lot. Tisha, you don't need any sugar. Let's hear from a word from our sponsor, shall we?
You were big. I'm serious. You look big.
I only weighed 140 something.
Well, you look humongous. But anyway, darling, I know it's time for us to go. I'll holler at you later. I love you.
You don't need no more sugar. Then we have, I mailed out a letter to NC to Redacted 3 weeks ago, and it has not been delivered. Do you have it? Recording going out? I also sent a legal envelope to a Denver court. Do you have record of it? I know my mail is scammed, but it's been 3 weeks and neither party has it. So it's like, bitch, we do not have logs of outgoing mail. Once it is given to USPS, we have no way of tracking it. Take it up with oops. I didn't get my order from Monday 9/12 with coffee today, and I ordered it before the deadline. I see that you did order prior to cutoff time. I'm not sure why it didn't make the truck. I'll look into it for you. I hope that truck got flat tires. And I hope it never made its way to you, Tisha. Can I go to the law library? I am pro se on civil case 22CV02467 GPG in the U.S. District Court of Colorado. If at all possible, could I avoid going between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. so that I can take my Prosocan nightmare meds and my other mental health night med, please? Thank you. Nightmare meds. I didn't know that there was medication to avoid nightmares. Excuse you. I thought the Mexican mafia was trying to recruit you between 1 and 4 a.m. while going to the law library. You little liar, you. Well, which one is it? Tisha. She said the Mexican mafia was trying to recruit her every time she went to the law library. And then she said, nah, it's because she had to go to the law library at 2:30 a.m. and she didn't like that time slot. And because she takes medication, it makes her groggy. And they're like, all right, well, we can give you the medication at a different time. And she's like, nah, because I don't want to be groggy during the day. So I just want out of law library. And it's like, all right, well, then you just want a bitch. And so now I didn't know that they could give medication to just stop nightmares, though. It is a med to lower blood pressure. I take that med too for nightmares. That's interesting. And that's really what it is. Like, that's what I'm thinking. Like, you can't escape that. That's different. That's different. That's just your head. But it's interesting if they can, Katrina, like you're saying, give you a medication just generally for nightmares. I never knew about that. You learn the more you know. Oh, damn. It's my first day being single after 10 years, and I bat for both teams. So I'm ready to pour some sugar. Go, girl. Go on with your bad self. Congratulations. What are you doing here? Go. You don't even go here. Go. Get out of my life. Why are you here? It's your first day. It's your first day of being single in 10 years. Why are you at my life? Go do something. Go out. Put your heels on. Go do shots Tisha style with her damn fanny pack. Go. Have fun. It's not icky. That's awesome, KD. Go do your thing, girl. I think that's what she was on, Kathy Adavan. Oh, that sucks. Yeah. Well, then welcome, Katie. Then come on in, take a seat, get in your coziest pajamas, come cuddle up with a fuzzy blanket, get a nice hot cup of cocoa, and settle in. And just download Tinder or something and swipe and talk a lot to somebody that you'll never eventually meet up with, like most of us do. Oh, well, thank your dad for his service, Kimberly. I didn't know that that's very interesting. I didn't know that they could give you something for nightmares. That really is interesting. Unfortunately, Carolina, I wish she was haunted by nightmares of but I don't think she is. I'll be honest. I wish I could say she was. I don't think she is. Because I think she's separated herself so very far from what she's done, I'm sorry. And the part that she's accepted, she's justified in her head and excused. So she can't be haunted by something that in her mind she didn't do bad. You know what I mean? Does it, Katrina? I'm going to look that up, Katrina. That's really interesting. Yeah, she doesn't, because she never showed any emotion. She never cracked. Listen, I've followed true crime my whole life, and which serial killer was it? Here's a true crime. It was actually really fascinating footage. Who was it? Was it the Green River Killer? It's court footage of, was it Dennis Rader? No, not Dennis Rader. I'm sorry. It was in court, and all of the families of the one killer were giving their victim impact statements. And one by one by one, you're horrible. You're a horrific man. How dare you? How could you do this? How could you do this to us? Like you took away my child. You took away my mother. You took away my sister, because there were many victims, many victims. and he's stone cold. He doesn't really have any emotion. And then there was the one dad who came up, and he was like a goofier looking guy with suspenders. And he comes up to the podium and he's like, I know that there's many people in this courtroom today who hate you and want to see you dead. He's like, but sir, I forgive you. And the killer just breaks down and starts to cry. No, it wasn't Dahmer. It wasn't Gacy. Hey, Crichton. I love you, Crichton. No, I think it was the Green. I think it was it the Green River? No. The one who forgave him looked like Santa Claus. Yes. And he came up and he was like, I forgive you. And the killer like he sat there while every family came up for their victim statements. And he sat there without emotion. But the one dad who came up and said, I forgive you. And he lost it. He lost it. Like, and the tears came out. And it's heart-wrenching footage watching, because that's the power of forgiveness. And it wasn't, that forgiveness wasn't for the killer. That forgiveness was for the dad. That forgiveness was for the dad. But my whole point in saying that was, I mean, I could pull up the footage. You guys want to see that footage? It's quick. It's like a short video somebody put together. And never, with all of my following of true crime, did I ever see never a crack of emotion, especially with a woman. Like, and with Letecia, I've never seen, even for a second, remorse. Not even just remorse, just anything. And it's terrifying. Gary Ridgway, thank you. Okay, so hold on. I'm sure I can pull it up. 1 second. Okay.
Ridgway sat there stone-faced as victims' relatives damned him and mocked him.
He's an animal. I wish for him to have a long, suffering, cruel death.
He's gonna go to hell, and that's where he belongs.
But then the emotionless facade finally cracked when the father of one of his victims appeared to surprise him with a dose of human kindness.
Mr. Ridgway, there are people here that hate you. I'm not one of them. You've made it difficult to live up to what I believe, and it is what God says to do, and that's to forgive. You are forgiven, sir.
So see, and you could find the longer clips of the actual footage, but family after family after family, it was the victim impact statements went up, and I hate you. You disgust me. I want you to die. I want you, that rightfully so. Rightfully so. I'm not judging them. But then this man came up in his goofy suspenders, and he's like, my religion, and he admits, I'm struggling with this. But the moment he says the words, you're forgiven, Gary Ridgway just, and you could see the tremble as he breaks down. And that forgiveness wasn't for Gary, it was for the father. And I use that example because never once. Good night, Law Nerd Amber, and good night, Larry. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Never once did we ever see even the tiniest little bit of emotion from Letecia. And I don't want to hold women and men separately or on different levels, but I don't know how to say this. When it comes, I don't know, like with women, we have a maternal instinct. I feel like we could all agree to that. Not saying that men don't have a paternal instinct, but with women, we carry children. That is something that we offer that just we as women can do, and we have this maternal instinct. And so even come trial, when Letecia saw Gannon's remains up on the television, and I know for all of us parents out there, especially as moms, it was heart-wrenching to see that baby like that. And to see Landon giving her victim impact statement, and to watch Letecia, if there was ever a time to see Letecia crack, to see Letecia give any put it this way, Letecia is so evil, because we were discussing the comment of, is Tecia haunted? Letecia is so far beyond haunted that she couldn't even pretend to be haunted when her life depended on it. There was just a trial that was happening a couple of weeks ago. I forgot what it was, with the mother who abused her older autistic son, and they showed her a photo of her emaciated son, and she broke down and pretended to throw up. Right, because her life depended on it, but at least she pretended, right? Letecia despised Gannon so much that she couldn't even pretend to show emotion. She couldn't even pretend to show, oh my God. Because even if you're playing the insanity defense, even if you're playing that another alter did that, your reaction would be the same. That baby up on the screen decomposing, horrified. And so her reaction should be the same. And she laughed. She laughed when photos of Gannon's decomposing body was up on that screen. I've never seen anything like it. So no, I don't think Yes, the Shanda Van Art. Thank you, Blue. So no, I don't think she's haunted, unfortunately, because she has put this so very far away in her mind. Not saying that she doesn't know what she did. She knows what she did. But the part that she has accepted, she has justified it to where she doesn't believe she's this sick, evil, twisted person. She believes she's justified. And it's Al's fault. Yeah, I'm used to Steve Mom. It is sick, Doxy. Hi, Shauna. And it's because, well, and that's why I would love, I'm very interested in the psychology of Letecia because there's something different about her. And the part that interests me is, ooh, okay, you are aware that your life is on the line right now. And you're at trial and all eyes are on you. Yet your brain, you have so much hate that you can't even fake. Like, you won't fake these emotions because you have so much disdain for this child. Why? Like, so even when it's your life being risked, you won't, oh my God, the poor baby, like, you won't even act because you don't even want to portray that you care. Like, why? Like, what's going on there? I want to know what's going on there. Hey, Mama J. Unfortunately, she'll never tell the truth. Like, we're never going to know the truth. We'll never. And even if one day, for some small chance, Letecia ever decides she's gonna tell the truth, we'll never know it's the truth because she is such a proven liar that how are we ever supposed to know, oh yeah, this version is the truth when you've lied so much? How are we supposed to determine what's the truth? Yes, happy heavenly birthday to Shanann. Definitely. Thank you, Lori. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yep, Pinche. Yep. Well, I'm like with Al, like she's like, oh hell no, you're not gonna. Which again, if Al was utilizing her to take care of the kids while he pursued his career, and she believed he was out screwing around with girls, and she wasn't okay, you don't have to be happy with that. That's not. Hey, that's not right. If the marriage wasn't active any longer and you weren't happy with that, you should have just left. I don't blame you for not being happy if there wasn't even a marriage and you felt like, I'm just here raising these kids. You didn't feel like were yours, and that makes me sad because they were bonus kids. But clearly Letecia didn't look at them like bonus kids. There was a clear separation that these are not my kids. But I do think Al didn't leave her simply because he needed to pursue the career, and it was who was going to stay home with the kid. It was convenient. And that was a very grave error. But she could have just left. You could have just left. Where you went disgustingly wrong was you took away this child. You took it off on this child, this innocent child who had done nothing. It wasn't his fault. Okay, so Kellyanne, and welcome, Kellyanne. Kellyanne says, Melissa, not sure how to word this, but do you think the evil one ever harmed Harley as a baby? Not the extent of Gannon, but I get angry mom vibe as well. So I'm laughing about the incident report that we had gone over where Letecia throws feces water at her inmate in her face. Yet I had explained that day when we went through that incident report that I actually think that this is much darker than a lot of us realize. So I think the level of abuse that all three of these children sustained goes much deeper than a lot of us realize. Now, I think more so for Gannon and Lena, and I think most for Gannon. I think, of course, Harley experienced some level of abuse. It may have been more so emotional and mental. I think she absolutely experienced some level of physical. That may have been more when she was younger and less so when Gannon and Lena came into the picture. Welcome, Allergic to BS. Thank you so much for joining. I think that just like when Letecia called the deputies into the cell and said, hey, I'm having this issue with my cellmate. And they were like, too bad. And they walked away, but they never fully walked away. They were still watching her and she didn't know. And she scooped up those feces water and then she threw it in her cellmate's face. I think that is exactly what happened many times. I think as soon as people left, like Al left the home and Letecia was left alone with those children, that is when serious abuse came out. And serious abuse doesn't always have to be straight up beating on the kids. That can be things just like scooping up the water and throwing it in face, whether, it has feces in it or not, but things like that. And I think there's probably countless incidences of that happening because all it showed was when nobody was looking, that's what Tisha did. And that's what Tisha did with a grown adult who is also in jail for another horrific crime, who can defend themselves. What do you think she did with vulnerable children who can't defend themselves while she was the one in control and power? While she was pissed off because her husband just walked out? I think that the abuse, at least the physical abuse, simmered off of Harley as she grew older. I think emotional and mental stayed there for Harley, but I think the physical abuse really went towards Gannon and Lena in that household. But yes, I think Harley has had absolutely many instances where Letecia has gotten physical, and Harley testified to that on stand at the trial too, where Letecia would smack her or hit her, things like that. But I think Lena and Gannon sustained the majority of it, Gannon specifically. But I think it goes a lot deeper than we all could imagine. I think that these kids knew as soon as Al walked out the door, and the way I described it as, if anybody knows like a drinker who shifts and gets nasty the moment that they have like on their sixth beer, all of a sudden, like, they get a shift in their eyes and everything could be fine. We could be laughing, we could be singing karaoke. And then all of a sudden, bam, you look at them and you know, uh-oh, they just shifted. They're gone. They're nasty and you can't get them back. That's how Tisha got. The moment that Al probably walked out that front door, the kids probably looked in her eyes and they knew, bam, that was no longer her. Because I think that she probably didn't give them food. I think that she was physical with them. I think that she probably tormented them in ways that our brains can't even think of because we would never do such things. I think Gannon's stomach issues, a lot of us say, oh, well, he grew out of that, like just like Landon said, he wasn't having accidents anymore. Yeah, he wasn't having accidents anymore with the condition that was originally causing those accidents. Yet we're not accounting for what was Tisha doing, plus the anxiety and the stress of the situation he was living in. I think that we will never know. We will never know. Well, and we saw in the case files that he wasn't taking his medication as prescribed either, at least his Vyvanse. One, his Vyvanse was just refilled. Ask yourself this, where was his Vyvanse? His Vyvanse was just refilled like a week before his murder. Yet, his Vyvanse was not in his system at the time of his murder. Also, they never found that bottle of Vyvanse. It was not in the home. It was not in the cars. They never found it. We have the incident in the case files from the from the teacher. She specifically said that she would know which days Gannon was on his medication versus which days he was not on his medication, because there would be a very clear difference in his behavior. And he could not sit still and he could not stay in his seat on the days that he was not on his medication. She was not giving him his medication when he was supposed to be taking it, which would make sense if she was taking it. Yep, exactly, Janessa. That's what I'm saying. Like, listen, not to get TMI, but everybody knows, like, the nervous poops. Like, if you know something's about to happen or you have, like, a very big event coming up, like, and you get very, very nervous, you get the nervous poops. Can you imagine if you are being severely abused by somebody as a child and all of a sudden, like, your father leaves the house, and the moment your father leaves the house, you're being left alone with that abuser, that would mess up your stomach. Like, I would imagine, like, your stomach being and already he has gastrointestinal issues, right? And so I could imagine, and then I think also on top of that, he was being medicated, potentially poisoned, in my opinion. I think he was being dosed with things intentionally to humiliate him, I'll be honest. Is that what it's called? Hot poops? We speculated a lot about, because I remember when she said she heard the voice telling her, what did she say? She said something about pushing off the cliff. And we all speculated, was something supposed to happen on that hike? Oh, I'm sorry, Pinche. Good night. Well, and what's interesting, Clicker, is Letecia started mimicking Gannon's symptoms in jail. all of Gannon's symptoms and everything Gannon struggled with his stomach, she's mimicked now while in jail, and she says she has projection. Oh, interesting. It is clear she was on something, and I told you that, guys, that a lot, because she was not sleeping. She straight up was not sleeping, and you cannot go that long without sleeping unless you have something that you're taking to like help that, because that we know from the messages and the call she was not sleeping for more than like less than an hour at a time, and that's not REM sleep. Thank you for joining, Janessa. Welcome to the channel. Right, Clancy. Exactly, Clancy. Yep. Yeah, you'll know it, Melissa, that shift that people who drink get, and you can't get them back, and it's in their eyes. You could see it, like, up, they're gone. So say it's like, you know, Jane, like, so Jane has 1 beer, 2 beer, 3 beers. Jane's great. Jane on her 6th beer, and you look in Jane's eyes, that's not Jane. And you know the moment you look in their eyes, it's not Jane. Something happens, and it's amazing because you can see it's something with their eyes. You can see it's not them anymore. I can imagine. That's how I imagine it being for the kids when they looked at Letecia. The moment Al left, or the moment they were left alone with her, this evil probably shifted in her eyes, and it was hollow. I can't imagine how terrifying it was. I really can't. What Gannon and I really don't. Abruptly discontinuing Vyvanse causes a large hormonal shift. I'm a pediatric social worker. I think she was abusing his Vyvanse regularly. Her body and behavioral changes after. That's a good point too, and she would experience a type of withdrawal, like not like a severe withdrawal the way like an opiate would, but like a come down, right? And the point is, when you're like up, and you're go, it would be a crash. It would be a crash, and like, yeah, exactly like you said, like a hormonal shift, and I'm sure she would just sleep. You would be like just burnt out because you're not having a chemical anymore in your body to keep you going. And that's why it's so, yeah, I'm anti-druggy. Then the weight gain. Exactly. You're not having anything that's helping speed up your metabolism or anything like that. Working in the ER, I've seen people take ADHD meds and they will get superhuman strength and feel like they are homicidal. Had a young man on illegal meth and prescribed ADHD, and he had tunnel vision. Yeah, right. Now, taken properly, prescribed, this is the problem. When you have the actual diagnosis and the chemical imbalance, and you take the prescribed dosage, it balances, and it calms you down. But if you don't have that diagnosis, it makes you go up. So with Gannon, it's funny. It's interesting how it works that way, right? So if Gannon with the ADHD, like if you go, this medication would, all right, slow down, focus, relax. But if you don't have that chemical imbalance, this medication's actually going to make you go, 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 go. It's very interesting how it works. But Letecia, I'm sorry, all of her behavior would align with taking that medication. Obviously, I cannot say for certain. I could just tell you that his medication was filled a few days before his murder. His medication was not in his system at the time of his murder, and his medication was not found anywhere to this day. It is documented that there were many days he was not on it in school, and Letecia did not sleep for the months after the murder. She was not sleeping, guys. Yeah. It's very interesting how it's like a go, 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 but then it'll calm you down if you have ADHD, but if you don't, it'll make you go, go, go. It's very interesting. Well, and Buster Crimes, she specifically admitted that she would give him medication while at school, but when he was home, she would not give him medication because she didn't want him using the bathroom and stuff. That's family time. So you would give him medication that made him have to use the bathroom while at school, and then at the time he was home, and they have their own bathroom downstairs. At the privacy of your own home, the comfort of your own home. A lot of people will not go number 2 in public places. And he's a kid. That's a hard age. People are mean. You don't want to have to go to go poo at school. You wouldn't give him his poo medication. But that's when I realized, I would not be surprised if she intentionally was giving him stuff to make him have accidents in a public setting. Well, I think it plays a factor in why her mental state was where it was at. I said from the beginning, the lack of sleep played a role in this. I'm not minimizing what she did or justifying it. I'm saying I think it plays a factor in why she was very sloppy. And she did really, I don't want to say crazy things, because when I say crazy, it's like takes away from accountability, and I'm not trying to do that, but look what she did, guys. And if anybody has ever gone without sleep or has been on like a binger of upper medications, you'll know what type of state that puts your mentality in. And it's hard to describe, but things that when you're level-headed, that it's very obvious, hey, that's not reasonable, that's not logical, that doesn't make sense. When you're in that state of mind, you believe it's logical, you believe it makes sense. It's the only way I could describe it. And all of her behavior fits sleep-deprived psychosis, in my opinion. But not like, I'm not excusing it, but I think it attributes to it. The hydrocodone was from when Al cut his finger. It was Al's hydrocodone. Mm-hmm. Yep. Welcome, bitchy Miss Arnold. Hey, girl. Thank you for joining. Yeah, welcome. It's a blackout. My friend would get like that. Yeah. See, what's interesting is when we did the live on Allie's channel, and we looked at, what is it called? It's her closet, her and Harley's closet. I forgot what it's called. But the things her and Harley were selling were brand new items. It was bags, like pocketbooks, shoes, clothes. But first of all, the sizes were not her sizes. They were Poshmark. Thank you. It was not their sizes, and the size would fluctuate. The bags, there would be multiple bags, but the tags were still on. There would be high-end items. It was literally like she either stole these items, or you bought it off the back of a truck at a cheaper price that was stolen. So I'm more inclined to believe she wasn't selling his medication. She was taking it just from her behavior. But the Poshmark items, dude, there were brand new baby clothes. Where are these baby clothes coming from? Yeah, exactly, Destination. It was like from Goodfellas, like the back of the truck with the cigarettes. Like, I see you. No, it wasn't like they weren't used claws. It was brand new. There was the like size 1 to 2T, that nothing that would have fit Gannon or Lena at the time. I'll have to get Allie's live from the Poshmark that we did. It wasn't that long ago. It was last month that we did it on Allie's channel, and it was crazy. It was both, and then Harley had like this sneakers, name brand sneakers that she was selling for $500. Yeah, she had sizes 0 to 1X. It was not hers. All with the tag still on it. All with the tag still on it. Well, I'll not defend them. No, of course, just say what you gotta say. But they did shop outlets, and they sell that stuff on base and for much cheaper than we can buy at regular stores. To be fair, I don't know anything about shopping at base and stuff, so I'll give you that. So I don't know. It was like a slot machine, my teacher described, on unmedicated 10-year-old babies. Oh my God. She's so fashion. So fashion. I would never pay $500 for sneakers, let alone used sneakers. That was the reused price. Reused. First of all, I walk on the sides of my feet, so my friends won't even let me wear their sneakers once. Okay? Does anyone else do that? I walk on the sides of my feet, so all of my sneakers become ruined. I don't know how to explain it. Like they become I don't know how to explain it. I walk on the sides of my feet, so eventually the sneaker gets I don't know how to explain it, but they get ruined. I would never pay $500, and that was the used price. That was the, hey, I wore the shit out of these, now you could have my leftovers. And in the pretext calls, we heard Letecia saying that she was selling Al's. She was selling Al's tools. I'm a size 8 claws, but I have wide feet. And so I'll usually just get an 8.5 because not a lot of shoes have wide. Really? Yeah. And honestly, it's painful because the piggy that goes wee 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 cramps up a lot because you're walking on this, your literal sides. Mm-mm-mm. All right, so Tisha goes, can I get the following forms? JDF 7677, Guide to Civil Legal Cases for Pro Se, and motion for dismissal for speedy trial. Thanks. Sure, Tisha. I'd love to see this. And they're like, we only print legal forms, not guides. My account is not read for orders for my kosher, and I know that I have not violated an agreement. What is going on? So, Kiosk is like, commissary is no longer has any religious diet restrictions in place. If you wish to comply with your religious dietary requirements, that is your responsibility. The conditions on the diet participation agreement still apply, and your commissary orders will be checked for compliance. If you are not in compliance with your religious dietary requirements, you will be removed from that diet. Please ensure to review the Kosher Halal El Paso County commissary list on the tablets. I didn't get my new daily bread this time. Can I get it for December, February, please, and thank you? Why is it so small? There we go. I would like to know who searched redacted in redacted on December 10th shakedown. I explained to the people patting us down that it was Shabbat. Jewish custom says that we fast all day on our Sabbath and eat at sundown. We had just got our kosher. It was cleaned and prayed over, and the individuals threw away koshers on the bottom tier. We did not eat on 12/10. I explained this several times to the shakedown team that it was Shabbat, and I was in the middle of prayer when we were removed. I would like the individuals' names. This is a First Amendment violations. Inmate Redacted and I tried to correct this with Sergeant DeLong. We were told later in the night that the jail did not care about Jewish customs. Therefore, I need to know who entered to violated these rights after asking several times not to throw away our koshers on Shabbat. The jail continues to disrespect T. Is that a typo, or are you talking in third person? Like, the jail continues to disrespect T, yo. Not Tisha. Tisha. How dare they disrespect the T? First of all, if you can't consistently even spell Shabbat, Shabbat. Am I supposed to believe you're truly following it? I think not. Okay. How do you spell it? Is it with an H? Is it without an H? I don't know. Kiosk didn't even give a response. Kiosk just said, fuck you this time. Kiosk says, not today. You know what? I'm not even gonna respond to this. Not worthy. Letecia, I was found not guilt for my write-up because I was charged wrongfully and ripped out of my ward and sent into a dissociative state. Please, can I delete these things from my record? Thanks. Girl. Dissociative. There's a little too. There's an extra so. There's an extra so in there. There's definitely an extra so in there. Girl. I think I disassociated while reading this. Where am I? Thank you, Rebellious Rose, for being a member for 5 months. Thank you so much for your support. We're happy to have you part of the channel. Oh, jeez, Lord. There's definitely an extra so in there. All right? Just telling you. Oh, thank you, Rebellious Rose, for gifting a membership. And congratulations to whoever received it, to our lucky recipient. Thank you so much, Rebellious Rose. So, Kiosk responded this time. They were like, Miss Stauch, the disciplinary infraction was removed from the report. All documented incidents will remain in your file. Can I get all my lockdown property? It should be quite a bit. I got a write-up, but was found not guilty, so I can have my stuff back. I can have everything but the thermal and socks, but they can just take that back out when it gets here. It should be a few trash bags full. Please and thank you. Thanks. Because the first thanks wasn't enough. I am documenting that the event that occurred on December 31st, because I'm Jewish, is trickling down to my housing. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, just me. I was wrote up because I am Jewish and had fruit from fasting for Shabbat and coffee creamer sweetener. I was found not guilty and now am being punished as if I had committed the act. I was told by the DEO that I had been in an argument, which is not true. This is another false report. In fact, I have made you aware in May when we came over for construction that this ward was the worst safety due to the people off the streets, the inmate threat, PREA violations, the stalkers, the fans, the people who nostalgie, O-tube, etc. Which is why I always have followed the rules and been successful and had roommates for 3 months. but punish me when I did not break a rule, but take people who fight 5 days Aganon Jews. I think a little bit early, if we just look up a little bit, the stalkers, the fans. Tisha, you don't have fans. Let me be real clear here. People like us are not fans. You are mistaken. I don't know if you are misunderstanding what's going on here, but definitely not a fan of yours. Definitely not stalking you either. Number 2, you have not always followed rules. In fact, on the contrary, you have never followed rules. Ever. 3. What the fuck did that last sentence say? You know what? But punish me when I did not break a rule, but take people who fight 5 days Aganon Jews? What? 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 I don't even know, so we're just gonna move on. Miss Stauch, your housing will be reviewed and you will be progressed when approved. You did not receive an infraction and you were not found guilty. However, because of the negative reports you received after your movement, you were not approved to be moved. Inmate class will continue to monitor your behavior and progress you just like everyone else. Bitch, bye. Tisha, inmate, don't ask Leslie. Listen, we don't ask here. No, to be fair, I don't know if an Aganon Jew is a real thing or if it was a typo. I don't know. So we're just going to roll right on with it unless somebody in the chat can clarify. We're just going to roll right on with it, okay? I would think too, Lena, to be fair, but there were times where I thought, oh, okay, maybe there is a character limit, but then she proved me wrong when other kites came in which were longer than the last. So I said, oh, wait, damn, no. So I was like, okay, clearly I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I Googled and found nothing. Kaleido said, okay, so it must have been, we just need to simply add it to the Tisha dictionary. Okay. Aganon Jew. All right. Inmate does not need a response. Oh, I'm sorry. You're starting this with telling the kiosk? Listen, bitch, you know what, kiosk? You don't need to respond, kiosk. I don't even need you to respond to this. It's a kiosk, Tisha. Okay, well, let's go. Inmate does not need a response. I was taken out of my housing for practicing my religion on 12/31 on Shabbat, for taking fruit from my styrofoam tray and putting in a bag and saving my coffee creamer to sundown on Shabbat? I am addend inmate classification ton my current freedom of religion federal lawsuit, and I am documenting that Vin have documenting that I have exhausted all reminiscence with El Paso County and CJC and will be sending an amended copy for allowing this to trickle down to my housing from Deputy T. Marshall. I'm happy that you started with this with kiosk does not need to respond, because I don't know how they would. Again, every time you type Shabbat, you spell it differently. But please continue to tell us how important your religion is to you. What is a coffee creamer? I am addend inmate classification ton my current freedom of religion federal lawsuit, and I am documenting that Vin have documenting that I have exhausted all remedies with El Paso County and CJC and will be sending an amended copy for allowing this to trickle down to my housing. Yep, this was the hooch. Did kiosk respond? Your comments are noted. All right, so let's read one more, guys. Shay, she was an educator. She worked in the schools with children. How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? Okay? Let that sink in. She has a doctorate. She's Dr. Stauch. Never the mind that she bought that doctorate online, but she's Dr. T. There is no reason for me to continue to be in the punishment ward around people in trouble for ritter-ups, fights, people smuggling drugs, dealing drugs, selling their commissary, every etc. I get no time out, no whites, no accesses to US, the law library on the tablet, etc. All for exercising a religious right to fast that I am being still punished for. I know that redacted was moved. Either way, I don't break the rules in this facility, so there is no reason to keep me in an intake what and punish me like the people who continue to violate the rule. But she does, guys. She does. Don't let her fool you. Just because she says it doesn't make it the truth. Letecia does get in trouble all of the time, and she breaks the rules all of the time. Exactly, Sarah. Kiosk says, Miss Stauch, you remain in current housing because of the negative reports you receive after you moved into the ward. If you had not presented negative behavior and caused a safety concern, you would have been moved once you received your dismissal of your disciplinary infraction. This has been explained to you. You will remain in current housing until you are approved to progress. So, let me once again explain. You are where you are because of your shitty behavior. You are where you are because of the negative reports we continue to receive. You are where you are because you tried to break out and escape. You Hulk smashed with a monster can a deputy's head. You tried to grab her gun, and you continue to act like the animal you are. So until you can prove that you can act like a human, you're going to remain where you are. How about that? Oh, she didn't fool anyone, Shay. She didn't fool anyone. It's aggressive. She thinks she is. Shay, she literally will take menstrual blood and finger paint on the walls like Van Gogh. And she thought it was all going to be used in trial to prove her insanity. She said that vampires came every night to do surgery and pull out her organs. She wasn't even original about it. She literally took the Twilight plot, even their names, the Volturi, the character names, everything. And she thought she was so smart that, look, they're going to bring this up in trial and it's all going to be no. And she even ate her blood. She ate her blood. None of it got brought up in court. So she didn't fool anyone. But she still thinks she's smartest in the room. It's quite terrifying, actually. She did. She did with her go-go gadget toe. But all right, guys. So I'm going to hop off for tonight. But thank you all so much for being here with me. I appreciate it so much. And I've missed you guys. And I will be on tomorrow at, I think, 7 Eastern. So thank you for anybody who had gifted memberships or sent a super chat. Your guys' support is so greatly appreciated. Thank you guys for hanging out with me again. If you guys could hit the thumbs up on your way out, I would greatly appreciate it. And I hope to see you guys all tomorrow evening for episode 34. So have a wonderful rest of your night, and I will see you guys all tomorrow.